Okay, we're coming off a big win over BC. Big game ahead against UMass. Jackson, welcome back to the podcast.
Appreciate it. Excited to be back.
So I've got to say, just from what I've seen out there and the way you guys are playing right now, the quotes we're seeing from you guys in media and press conferences, it seems like this team is playing with a lot of confidence right now. Would you say this is the most confident that this team has felt in itself since you've been at UConn?
Yeah, I think so. I think just every week, the confidence has just been building and building. And once we started getting a couple wins, obviously the confidence has built up a lot. Just on the defensive side of the ball, we held them to 3 points last week, so that was really good for our confidence. But we know as a team, like you got to come every week. It's not
Yeah.
given every week. So just because we have this confidence doesn't mean that we're expected to win. We have to earn that win every single time we step on the field.
I think that's got to be an interesting point too, where you can't let the success necessarily get to your heads right away because I think a lot of people on this team, have been here for a while and know the downs that UConn's been in. So they know, I think, that you can't take each win for granted here. Is that how you sense, this is how the team is kind of feeling there?
I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, Coach Morris does a good job at like not letting us get too high with the emotions and making sure we're putting the work every week and we're setting a new standard. Last week's standard isn't good enough. We got a good win and that type of thing, but our standard has risen from last week. So just trying to meet that standard every week and then raise it once we do.
I gotta ask a couple questions off that mini movie they put out because I've watched it like 20 times and it just gets better and better each time. Have you watched it yet?
Yeah, I watched it one time before my class.
Yeah, they do a great job with that stuff. Um, but I gotta ask, like, I see the speech that Coach Mara is giving to you guys pregame, telling you guys like you guys got fear, like give it to me, I'll hold on the sideline. Like I'm pumped up just listening to it on the movie there. What's it like being in the locker room? Because it seems like he's a guy who's done a great job at getting the most out of this team and really motivating you guys week in and week out here.
Yeah, he does a really good job at just like motivating us and that type of thing. And then I mean, before the game, he was pretty hyped up. This is the most hyped up I've seen him before a game. So he was talking for quite a while before that, just giving us a speech and getting us hyped up. But yeah, I was definitely motivated to go out there and perform. And who doesn't want to play for that guy? So
Yeah. No, it seems like a sticking point. They've made a point of, including it in the little movie there was calling out, how UConn had never beaten BC before, calling out some of those experts. Maybe they're not quite so expert on game day or whatever who were picking against you guys. Was that motivation for you guys last week, knowing that you had never beaten BC before and you guys felt like you had a chance to really go up and get that first win against them?
yeah, I mean, I had not known that until Coach Moore had told the team that we hadn't beat them before. But yeah, it was definitely a little extra added motivation. Obviously, this year is a full of a bunch of things that we haven't done before, we haven't done in a while. So we're just trying to keep checking things off the list, checking boxes off, and that was just another one we could check off.
Yeah, and another guy who gave a great speech in that clip they had there was Eric Watts at the halftime, like really letting everyone, kind of have a reminder of what happened against Ball State, where you went out and played a great first half and things, kind of went south a little bit there in the second half. How much of a motivation was that for you guys in the game, knowing like, hey, we did the same thing a couple weeks ago against Ball State, like went out there and played a great first half, like we really got to keep our foot on the gas here. How big was that heading into that or during that BC game rather?
Yeah, that was definitely a huge motivation just because we knew what it felt like after we let that one slip away 2 weeks before. So Ewok kind of reminded us and Coach Moore reminded us, and we just made sure we went out there and we finished the game this time. There's a few games that we obviously haven't finished. We got away with some, like in FIU, we didn't really finish the game well, but we still got away with that win. But obviously, you saw what happened in Ball State, so we just didn't want that feeling again. So it's definitely huge motivation every time we stepped on the field last week.
What's it like, being on the sideline at the start of that game there, you've got the offense, gets the ball first. They go down what, three or four plays and score a touchdown. Like how pumped are you ready to go take the field, and show that the defense is going to do their part in that game?
Yeah, I mean, anytime the offense is rolling like that, it gets the defense really excited. It was a great way to start the game. It really gave us the momentum from the jump with that touchdown to Jolly. So it was definitely huge. And like when you see him make a big play, you're happy for your teammates, happy for the young guys too. So it was
Yeah.
definitely important. We knew if they're making plays and they're playing well, then we got to do the same thing.
Yeah, and then you guys answer on that next possession that they've got, and you guys get that big stop on 4th and 1. How big of a tone setter was that? Again, offense goes out there, scores relatively easily. You guys go out and make a big stop on 4th and 1. Does that guy, just give you guys the confidence like, hey, they might be an ACC team, but like we're right here with them and we can play with them?
Yeah, I think that those two things like give everyone just a boost of confidence. And we come out, we get a quick score, and then we get a quick stop. So it kind of puts everyone nerves at ease and settles everyone down into the game, and gives us that momentum to start the game, which is huge. But anytime someone that goes for it on 4th and 1 that close to their own end zone, a defense should take that kind of disrespectful and that type of thing. So that's kind of what we did. We got the stop and kept the momentum going for our team.
Yeah, and the defense just kept rolling from there. How tricky is it adjusting to a new quarterback in the middle of the game there? Because I know, their starter goes down midway through the second half there, and they're still well within, the span of the game there and got a chance to
Yeah.
still come back there. Now you're going up against a whole new guy there that you might not have scouted as much during the week. So how tricky was that for you guys?
I mean, yeah, there definitely are some tricks to it, especially guys that you might not have seen as much on film. I think there was a few times that he had played earlier in the season just because they're getting blown out or that type of thing. So he went in late in games. So we had seen some film on him and knew what he could do. But when you get play like a different quarterback like that, you kind of just take the first drive, the first few plays to see what he can do and get used to it. And then, he played for a lot of the games. So you kind of just get used to it and start rolling with it.
Then looking post game, I've got to say, like each post game celebration just looks better and better. Like I want to be in the locker room there. I've got to ask. I think we've talked in the past about the whole him Mora thing. Now I heard a new one in this one, Himothy Mora. How did that come to be?
I mean, I don't really know. To be honest, I don't know if Coach Moore likes those nicknames or not. I can't really tell, but guys just like to call him that, and the UConn like students and fans have kind of ran with that a little bit, just calling him more because of
Yeah,
the job he's done so far. I don't think he's not a guy that gets too satisfied or that type of thing, so he doesn't really care for it. I think he just wants to keep building, keep getting better.
yeah. I saw still no dancing from him. We got to get him
Uh,
dancing at some point, though, right?
yeah, I don't know if we'll see it to be honest,
All
but
right.
maybe after we win a bowl game.
Yeah, that's what we got to do. We got to get that bowling in there, whatever it takes to get him dancing. Do the other coaches get in on the dancing, or do they all follow his lead and watch from the side there?
No, I think most of them watch from the side. It's mostly just some of the players that take part in the dancing.
All right. As we head towards this game against UMass, it feels like from someone who's followed UConn football for a long time, I feel like this is the most excitement there's been around the program in quite some time. From being inside the program, are you feeling that excitement from the fan base here? I know we had, I think, probably one of the bigger crowds at the Rent in a while in that game against BC there. Are you being able to feel that momentum from the fans and the excitement there?
Yeah, definitely. I think like when you go on Instagram or social media or Twitter, you kind of just see it. You see the fans are excited. They're engaged more. When we go to the Rent, obviously it was a lot more packed than it's been in years past. So it's really exciting. You kind of feel the momentum building. But Coach Moore does a good job of telling us like, with this like comes more responsibility and like one loss could make it all go away. It's pretty fleeting.
Yeah.
So you just got to keep building it. So the fans, keep building and building and just get better as the weeks go on.
Yeah. Now as we look towards this UMass game, how's it been prepping for them? I know it's always tricky a little bit when it's a short week here. You play Saturday night, you play Friday night. So how's this week of prep been going so far?
Yeah, it's been good. Obviously, a short week is not ideal, but Coach Moore has done a really good job at, you know, he kind of treats us like professionals, like we're in the NFL. So he knows what it takes to get your body right on a short week and that type of thing. So he's done a good job at making sure we get our legs back, but we get good practices in as well. So yeah, I mean, it's been good, and I'm excited. I think everyone's ready and prepared, and anytime you want to play games as much as possible. So to be on a short week is kind of exciting. You get to play a little bit earlier than usual.
In terms of looking at UMass and what you've seen on film, what do you think are going to be some of the keys to this game and getting win number 5 on the season here?
Yeah, I mean, they like to run the ball a lot. That's kind of what their main thing on offense. And, when we played them last year, if people remember, like they ran the ball on us a lot, and Merriweather had a pretty good game against us. So obviously he's a guy that you got to watch for in the backfield. But the quarterbacks can run really well too. They'll play a few quarterbacks that can run. So just stopping the run is always huge. It's huge in any game, but
Yeah.
especially this game. Just stopping the run and kind of forcing them into third and longs and passing downs. Then, Ewart and Price and those guys can get after the quarterback.
Yeah, some good in-game practice to get you ready for that Army game in a couple weeks too.
Yeah,
Get
yeah,
ready to stop the run. As we look back at, you mentioned last year the loss to UMass. How much has that stuck in the back of everyone's head who was with the team last year? Like, hey, we went up there and they beat us. It's time to get some revenge here.
yeah. It's definitely like kind of the main thing on our minds. Just knowing what they did to us last year kind of beat us up a little bit. And then like obviously it hurt, and that's not something that we want to feel again. And Coach Morris kind of reminded us of that, the performance we had last year with it. So, it's something that sticks with us and some extra motivation going into Friday for sure.
Absolutely. I know everyone's looking forward to Friday night under the lights. I think one thing that's cool is it's the military appreciation
Yeah,
game, and I love the helmets with the Bloxy and the American flag in it. How excited are you for these uniforms here? I know you guys had some good luck in the cancer awareness uniforms here, so now you get to honor the military with these ones.
yeah, I'm definitely excited. It's cool thing to honor. Anytime you can honor, your service men and women, is really important. So we're gonna have people on the jumbotron, names on the jumbotron of like our family members and stuff that we're gonna be honoring that served in the military, and then, just it's gonna be a really fun game, a Friday night light game, kind of like high school. We got that cool sticker on our helmets, so
Yeah.
we got some cool things happening at the game too with the military and that type of thing. So for sure, it's gonna be exciting.
Very nice. And I know, well, we've had a lot of good things to talk about here when it comes to the Giants. I know a tough one last week. How you feeling about the team? Seattle's been pretty good though, so
Yeah,
you can only take so much from that.
yeah. See, that was a good team, and we weren't gonna win the rest of our games this season, so we get to go on the bye week and recover, and then we got another stretch for hopefully we can get some wins going into our game against the Eagles.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Jackson, really appreciate the time and coming on. And this is going to be dropping. Tomorrow is Thursday, so by the time this drops, we're going to be a day away from the Boneyard Huskies
Yes,
Club
sir.
drop. Hype up your NFT and everything here before we go.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we got our me, Dalmont, Noe, Taekwon, Nate, and Devontae got our NFTs and collectible cards dropping on Friday, November 4th, I think it
Yeah,
is. So yeah, it's really exciting. Boneyard Huskies has been really good, and we got a cool NFT dropping, a little husky that kind of looks like all of us, and then there's like a one of one legendary one, and then there's like a one of 200 like just collectible one that people collect. So yeah, I'm excited, and it should be good. I hope all the fans buy it. I think Boneyard Huskies has the link out on their Twitter already,
yeah,
and I'll probably retweet it and I'll tweet about it on game day. But I'm excited. Hopefully, we can get a win and get the drop on the same day.
yeah. No, it should be a really exciting Friday. So Jackson, as always, appreciate the time. Good luck on Friday night, and look forward to hopefully talking to you after another win and getting ready for Liberty.
Thank you.